Hey everybody, Bruce back here with some more work on this bathroom renovation. I've been prepping the area for the new tub, and we just went down and bought a new tub that was on sale a couple of days ago. And I'm just about getting ready to put it in for good here, but let me show you some of the things that I ran into with this old house. And for those who are just joining, this house is 133 years old. Excuse me. So it creates some issues that you may not run into when you're doing construction on new construction. But what we got here is the new tub. This there's a lot of different options you can get tubs. We just wanted a standard basic tub, and we bought a porcelain coated steel tub. And some people say if you do research on these tubs, not to get them because you can get a dent. If it gets, something drops on it, puts a dent in it and chips the porcelain, so, or they don't hold the heat or whatever. But basically the reason we went with this option is for the price. It was one of the cheapest tubs they had. And cheapest isn't always better, but I think if I do a good installation, we should get a lot of years of use out of this, hopefully. So if you look at the bottom of it, it's got a piece of foam that's glued to the bottom of the steel tub. If you remove that piece of foam, this just a big chunk of styrofoam, but it's specially graded so that the tub will sit level if that's sitting on the floor. And it creates support for the tub, so when you're in there or you have water in there, the bottom of the tub doesn't bow or sag. And it also is supposed to deaden some of the sound that you get with these thin steel tubs. So I have no idea. This is the first bathtub installation I've ever done. Hopefully it'll be the last. But I don't know if that's good or bad. It makes sense to me and it sounds decent. But the way this needs to be installed, it's kind of hard to look at the tub the way it's standing up here. But that's the front of the tub. That black rail is the front edge of the tub. So it rests on that along the floor. This is supposed to be laying flat along the floor. And then on the back rail here, you notice it's quite a bit higher. This rail rests on a board that you, a 2x4 that you screw to the wall or bolt or nail to the wall. So it really has three support areas. This shelf, the centerpiece, and then that outer piece. So in order for this to fit properly, all three of those areas need to fit flush with whatever they're supported up against, and they need to be, it all needs to be level. So after a lot of work, as you see, I have the plumbing fixture mounted to the tub. I'm lucky in this installation that I can get to the end of this from below the house. So I'm able to do it this way and make sure that I get that hooked up without leaks. But we'll see how that works out a little bit later on. But here's the area where the tub fits. I've got the back wall insulated. I didn't go clear to the ceiling. There's still plaster up here, but I tucked that up in there as far as I could on both sides of the window. And then I had to do some building. I had to install a 2x4 over in this corner to give the corner support, and the same thing over here on this wall, top to bottom. And then I had to use some of these slats, excuse me, that came off of this wall to build out the studs to the proper distance. And then that way I could put a straight edge across here and indicate whether or not I have a flat surface to mount the sheetrock to. And I do. It's not perfect, but it's awful darn close, and I think it'll be okay. There's the board across the back that supports the back side of the tub. And it's just screwed to every stud that I could screw it to. and it's been leveled. It took me 3 tries. Put the board up, put the tub in, check for level, and so forth. Three attempts to get that set properly, so that wasn't easy, but it just took some time. And then if you look at the floor here, this is an interesting thing that I've come up with. This pad in the middle of the floor is just a buildup of scrap wood and supplies and laminate floor stuff that I had laying around to build that section up that fits underneath the foam pad that's on the bottom of the tub. The problem here is this section where the tub sits, this corner here is the lowest, and that back corner is the highest. None of it is level. So it grades from the wall out to the front edge of the tub. It slants downward, so it's lower on this edge. And it also goes from this side this way, it's lower on this side. But this needs to be level in order for the tub to sit level. And the same thing with this board here, it's level as well. Now there's a lot of different ways to tackle this issue. One thing that you can do is you can lay in a bed of mortar right in here, and then as you set the tub down on it, it smashes the mortar out, and supposedly it will smash the mortar out to the exact height and level section that you need in order to have the tub set on it properly. And I did consider that, but I thought I'd make an attempt before I go to buy a bag of mortar. I just really didn't want to mess with all that, and take some of the supplies I had and make this. So what I did is I took, let me see here just a second. I took a piece of this copper pipe that I had just laying around, and it's relatively straight, and I put it up against the back wall, and then I put it up against this front support that I put in here. This is about a 1/2 inch, and I needed that in order to have the tub set level. And I know it's going to create an issue right here where the tub meets with the floor, but I got a remedy for that. I'm just going to put a piece of trim across there and silicone it. So I ran this across, and then I got way down here and looked underneath this pipe and did some measurements and figured out how thick of a piece of wood I needed in order to build this up so that I have a level section for that bottom piece of the tub to fit onto. And that was trial and error too. That took me 2 or 3 times. And you can see I have it cut out right here, and it's not cut out over here. I got about a 1/2 inch piece of wood there nailed to the floor. And then underneath this section, I had to cut this out because it was too high back here, and I need the height on this side, so I left it here. So then underneath the edge of this, I had to tuck a couple of other sections of this, and it was really kind of a pain, to be honest with you. But I've got it all built up with the grade that I need so that that piece can fit level on the floor, and then I trial fit the tub in there, and it seems to be working quite well. So you can go the easy way and do the mortar, I guess, or build something up like this, something to support the bottom of the tub. And this is what I'm going to go with, since I've already got all this work into it and got it pretty well leveled out so that that support touches all the way across here. And that piece of wood that you see there is basically all I did was measure that foam support on the bottom of the tub and measured out where it actually sits on the floor and drew a pencil line on the floor so I know where to make this build up. And then of course that's where the drain goes down. So before I put the tub in, I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing. And if you look over here on this side, this is where the drain is. This is a left-hand drain tub. At some point in the history of this house, there must have been a sink mounted on this wall, because there's 3 holes, a drain hole, and then hot and cold water line holes. But I don't want to just leave those open. I want to seal that off so I don't get air drafting up underneath this tub. Supposedly, if you have a draft under your tub, your tub water won't hold temperature very long and so forth. So I'm just going to take a couple of pieces of this underlayment stuff. This is the same stuff I used for building out my van. It's really about 1/4 inch plywood is what it is. And then I'm going to nail those to the floor right there. There's no part of the tub that's going to touch that. But I'm just going to nail those down. And then if I have to from below, I can come up and just fill those holes with some expanding spray foam or something just to plug the holes. I'm still going to have a pretty good sized hole on this side where that drain pipe goes through. But I don't know. Maybe I'll make a board that'll screw up there up against that and put some regular old fiberglass insulation in there or something just to keep the airflow from coming up through there. But it is kind of nice for the first few weeks anyway. I can look up through there and just check and make sure that nothing is leaking on the plumbing on the bottom of the tub. So that's what it looks like, and that's where I'm at. I'm waiting for my wife. She's my helper on this, so that we can get this tub set in here, and then I can start fastening it down. I just got done putting my plumbing in there. I've got a drain, and I'm just going with the simple pop-up drain that you operate by hand. And then I have my overflow cap on there. Whoops. This is part of the box that you can cut out and put in the bottom of your tub. And they have the edge of it covers the side here once you have it in, so that you don't drop anything and damage the tub when you're working on the rest of the drywall and stuff. But it was nice to get the plumbing and all that stuff done, just having it standing up here. And let's just hope that it doesn't leak. But I won't know that for a few days. But if you look at that back wall, see if I can point this out to you. This wall right here, this right-hand wall where the light is mounted right there, that wall leans backwards by quite a bit. It's nowhere near plumb. And that's the wall that I'm building out to accommodate the back side of the tub. And that's what you see, those 2x4s I have built up there. That's about half of the wall. I need to finish the rest. I'm going to do it once I get the tub put in there, just to make it easier to lift the tub in. But in order for the surround piece, the corner to fit in there properly, that wall and this wall both have to be about as plumb as you can get them. And I checked the back wall. It's actually pretty darn close. And this wall is pretty darn close. So I got lucky on those two. But this wall here is way out. So I need to put some shims up here, build that out, and then I'm going to run 3 2x4s down the edge of that wall so that I have something to fasten my sheetrock to. But I'll show you that as I work on it after I get the tub installed. I need to get those pieces nailed to the floor down there before I forget about it. And then we'll get the tub set in, and I've got it to where it actually sits nice and stable and sturdy and level with no wiggling back and forth as you walk in it. You can't have it wiggling, because if it moves at all once you've got it installed, it'll break the seal that you have between your sheetrock seam and the top of the tub. Actually, it's going to be the surround piece in the top of the tub. But anyway, no expert. I've just reviewed a lot of YouTube and read a lot of articles about how to install these. Like I said, this is my first experience, so we'll see how it continues or how it works out. But this video is dragging on quite a bit. I just about ready to get the tub set in there, and I wanted to show you guys what it looked like and what I did below the tub before I actually set it in, because with any kind of luck, this will be the last time I have to look at that piece of floor that's underneath this tub, I hope. I guess that's it for now, guys. Thanks for joining in, and hopefully I'll keep these videos coming. I know they're few and far between, but I've just been doing a lot of work to try to figure out how to install this tub and try to get it done properly the first time so I don't have to mess with it later on. So we'll see you on the next one.